first people, I mean no harm to you, but you and your kind are destroying our dwelling place. We only wish to be left alone to live in peace. My kind come from another time and another place, a star system you do not know of. We were removed from our home and brought here by others from another planet. We were artificially bred with those who brought us here. You and your kind. You are our
Good morning, Terry.
Morning, Professor. What's for breakfast?
Pancakes, scrambled eggs, bacon, and orange juice. And if you're a good boy and don't cause any trouble, you can have an extra ding-dong for dessert.
And since when do I cause any trouble?
How about that time when you nailed my boots to the floor and I ended up having to pry 'em off with a crowbar? They were never the same after that.
That was 5 years ago. And you needed a new pair of boots anyway.
Or the time when you frosted all the donuts I made with chocolate X-Lax. I had to sleep next to the bathroom for 3 straight nights because of that.
That was 3 years ago. And if you hadn't left the X-Lax right next to the regular chocolate, maybe I wouldn't have gotten them confused.
And what about that time when you ransacked my office and sprayed a can of Squatch stink all over the hallway? You even designed a whole trail of phony footprints.
That one was 2 years ago. And I only did that because you were losing interest and you said unless a Bigfoot showed up at the front door of the lab, you were going to quit the business. I was only trying to encourage you. And how was I supposed to know that the G in your middle name didn't stand for gullible?
Well, anyway, breakfast is ready. Hey, turn on the radio. I think we're missing the morning news.
The trial is being suspended, and future court date is yet to be determined. And our final story this morning. A Brooksdale teen was injured last night while camping along Crystal Creek when his rifle went off prematurely, shooting the teen in the leg. When questioned by police, he said he was there to hunt down and kill a Bigfoot. But when he got his chance and a creature approached him, he turned and ran, tripping over a downed tree, which set off the rifle. He also said, and I quote, "After seeing how human it looked, I couldn't have shot it, even if I tried." For KBRA Radio News, I'm Kevin O'Connors.
Can you believe that? That crazy kid sets out to shoot a Bigfoot and ends up shooting himself instead.
Yeah, kind of a fitting lesson if you ask me. But did you hear that last part? He said it looked so human he couldn't have shot it even if he tried. Now that speaks volumes.
You know, I've heard a lot of people say the same thing. They go out there with their guns, and when they raise them up to look at their faces through the scope, they see how human they look, and it does something to their mind.
Yes, it does. In fact, they look just human enough to where a person feels like if they did shoot one, it just might be considered murder of a human being. So the fact that the Sasquatch looks so much like us has probably been the biggest factor in the saving of their lives than anything else. But this whole idea of shooting them still has me a mite disturbed. I mean, other than this kid shooting himself in the leg, I'd say this incident turned out pretty good. But there's a whole lot of other incidents out there that might not turn out so well, and those are the ones that concern me the most.
Well, as far as that kid's concerned, I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, the Sasquatch got away safely and all that, but the kid still got shot. Just imagine what he and his parents have to go through now. That's like saying, other than the shooting, how was the movie, Mrs. Lincoln?
Touché.
Well, let's see here. It's 1:15 p.m. and they're over halfway through, making pretty good time. We've got this section to complete. And then one more about a mile south of here. After that, we'll be able to... What in blazes is that? Why, it's a whole tree pulled up out of the ground. They're supposed to chop them down, not pull them out by the roots. But wait. There's no tracks from any bulldozer or any other equipment. They didn't pull this one out with a machine. How in the world did it... Oh my God. No, it can't be. This is not happening. I gotta call the supervisor. Oh, we can't stay here any longer. We gotta get out of here now. Come on, pick up the phone. Frank, it's Paul Donlin. We've got a major problem up here. You gotta shut this whole thing down. Why? I'll tell you why. I just found a 30-foot pine tree pulled completely out of the ground, and it wasn't done by any of us. Because none of us have giant 17-inch human-looking footprints. Listen, Frank, you've got to call this whole thing off. There's something awful big up here, and I don't want to know what it is. No, I haven't been drinking. I'm as sober as you are. Frank, if you don't do something about this right now, you're going to have a mass panic on your hands. I don't know what's out there, but I'm not sticking around to find out.
Brooksdale Police Department, Captain Willis speaking. Yes, Mr. Donlin, what can I do for you? Uh-huh. I see. Footprints? 17 inches? What else? A 30-foot tree right out of the ground. Wow. Did you or anyone else hear anything just before you found all this? Did you happen to smell any kind of strong odor, like wet dog mixed with garbage? Nothing, huh? Okay, well, we can definitely come out there and check it, but I would suggest you call Professor Dalton at the Bigfoot Research Lab. If this is what I think it is, then he and his people would be much more qualified to handle it than us. Let me give you his number. Let's see here. Here it is. It's 1-800-BIGFOOT. BIGFOOT. Yes, I really believe that's what we're dealing with here. But we'll be out there as soon as we can, so... Oh, you're welcome, Mr. Donlin. Goodbye.
Hey, Professor, how goes it?
Well, I'm looking over some video from an old trail cam I put up a while back.
Did you find anything yet?
No, not yet. Except for a few squirrels, a couple of bears, and a coyote. I set it to record for 8 hours straight. I'm only about 3 hours into it, so there's a lot left to go.
Where's the camera located?
Why, it's up in a tree, of course. Where else do you think it would be?
No, I mean where as in what part of the forest?
I knew what you meant. I was just funning with you. It's back about 15 miles into the woods, right in the middle of the Shady River logging operation.
Well, with all the commotion and noise going on with the logging project up there, I doubt you'll see any Bigfoot. If I was a Bigfoot, I'd stay as far away from all that as I could possibly get. Why do they have to chop all those trees down anyway? Haven't they already done enough damage with all the... Professor, look. On the monitor. What is that?
I'm not sure. Looks like some kind of energy or electrical field. I'm not too sure what's going on there.
Last time I saw something like that was in a sci-fi time travel movie. I think it was Doorway to Beyond or something like that. I wonder if this is some kind of... Oh my God. Did you see that? Professor, please tell me you saw that.
Yes, I saw it.
That Sasquatch stepped right out of that thing. Professor, does this mean that they're not...
I'm not sure what it means yet. Let's just keep watching.
Professor, look. In the upper right corner. Is that a man standing there?
Yeah, it sure is. He's about 30 feet away.
This makes me wish this camera had audio, too. I'd love to hear what that guy is saying.
There's no telling. He's probably in so much shock he can't even speak.
And there he goes. Right back through that whatever it is. Professor, what did I just witness?
Jerry, what you just saw is something I've been on the edge of believing for a few years now.
Really? What's that?
The idea that Sasquatch are capable of interdimensional traveling.
Interdimensional Oh, you've got to be kidding. Really?
It's very, very possible. Oops, hang on a minute. Science lab, Jonathan Dalton speaking.
Professor Dalton, this is Paul Donlin.
Yes, what can I do for you?
Captain Willis from Brooksdale PD suggested I call you.
Yeah, what about?
Well, I've been working out there on the Shady River logging operation. And yesterday when I was doing my rounds and checking on everything, I found a 30-foot pine tree completely pulled up out of the ground by its roots, with 17-inch human-looking prints all around it.
You don't say.
Yeah, that's right. I called my supervisor right away and told him we needed to shut everything down and get out of there ASAP, but he didn't seem like he believed me. But like I say, Captain Willis suggested I call and let you know about it. So, here I am.
Well, good. I'm glad you called. Tell you what, my partner Jerry and I are about to head out there to the logging site right now and reset a trail cam. Why don't you meet us out there and you can show us exactly what you saw?
Well, I'm a little wary of going back out there. Seeing that tree pulled up and all those giant footprints really scared the you-know-what out of me. Are you sure it's safe to go back this soon?
Paul, it's okay. The Sasquatch are basically a peaceful bunch. Oh, they use a lot of scare tactics to get people to leave their territory, but generally speaking, they're not looking for any trouble. But don't worry about it. You'll be perfectly safe.
Well, if you say so, Professor. You're the expert.
Okay, then meet us out there. It'll take us about 30 minutes to get there, and we're leaving right now. So, this is the tree, huh, Paul?
Yeah, that's it, all right. Definitely one of a kind, that's for sure.
Sometimes the Sasquatch not only pull them up out of the ground, but they're also known for jamming them right back into the ground completely upside down.
You're kidding, really?
It's true. They also make what look like teepees out of tree branches.
What do they mean?
Well, there's several theories. Everything from a sign to other Sasquatch that humans are in the area, to a sign to humans that this is their land and they're telling us to leave. Is this the only place where you found footprints?
Well, I was pretty panic-stricken when I first saw them, so I didn't take the time to look around for any more. All I wanted to do was get out of here as fast as I could. Even being back here right now is giving me the jitters.
Well, don't let it spook you. The Sasquatch are pretty much a peaceful bunch. Yeah, they do throw rocks and make noises, but those are just all scare tactics to get people to leave them alone.
Well, I'm certainly all for leaving them alone. Anything that big, I definitely don't want to bother.
Well, their size is just one more intimidation tactic that they use to scare people off their territory.
Well, I'd say that tactic works rather well.
Hey, Professor, do you see that man standing over there next to the tree? He looks just like the guy we saw in the video.
Yeah, he sure does. Paul, do you know that guy?
Yeah, that's Ken Miller. He's an old buddy of mine. Wonder what's wrong with him. He looks about as nervous as a chicken in a hatchet factory.
Yeah, and I have an idea why, too. Paul, would you call him over here and do the honors of introducing us? I think it would be better coming from you.
Hey, Ken! Come on over here!
What's going on, Paul?
I just wanted to introduce you to these guys. This is Professor Dalton and Jerry Hansen. They're from the Bigfoot Research Lab. They're here checking out the footprints.
Bigfoot? You two know about this stuff?
We sure do, Ken. In fact, I have a trail cam just a few yards up the hill there. And when Jerry and I were looking at the video I recorded yesterday, we saw something very interesting on it. It was a Sasquatch stepping through some kind of an electromagnetic portal. But the most interesting part was, you were in the video frame. You want to tell us what happened?
Well, I was just standing there when I saw this bright light and what looked like heat waves. I know they weren't, though, 'cause it wasn't that hot. But it was shimmering the same way heat waves do. And then, all of a sudden, that thing stepped through it. It was big and hairy and looked almost human, but not quite. It must have been about 8 feet tall and 4 feet across the shoulders. It just stood there, staring at me. And then it spoke in my mind.
What did he say?
It said, "I am of the first people. I mean no harm to you. But you and your kind are destroying our dwelling place. We only wish to be left alone to live in peace." Then I asked him where he was from. He said, "My kind come from another time and another place, a star system you do not know of. We were removed from our home and brought here by others you know as ET. We were bred with those who brought us here. You and your kind are the result of our breeding. You are our cousins."
Whoa, hold the phone there, Clyde. Do you realize what you're saying?
All I know is what he told me.
You mean that these huge things are... Ken, are you sure you heard right?
I may be slow, but I ain't deaf. And like I said, he spoke it to my mind. I heard it as clear as I'm hearing you.
Well, it really isn't that far off base, and certainly not beyond the realm of possibility. These creatures are far more advanced than we are. They have mental and physical power far and above ours. And it's been proven that humans only use about 10 to 15% of their brain. A few have discovered how to use a little more, but even then, it's nowhere near the ability of a Sasquatch. It's very common for the evolutionary development of a species to be downgraded from the one that lived before it. So one day, if science confirms that we actually are their descendants, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Captain Willis.
Morning, Captain.
And you must be Paul Donlin. We spoke on the phone.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Pretty strange to hear it so quiet up here. Normally this place is buzzing with chainsaws and fallen trees.
Yeah, I figured it would be better for everyone if we did all this on our day off. The last thing we need is to have an audience of curious onlookers while we're doing all this.
Smart move, brother. Smart move. Well, this is quite a crime scene here. I don't think I've ever seen a big tree like this pulled completely up out of the ground before. Professor Dalton, do you think our suspicions are correct about who did this?
Yes, I believe so, Captain. The footprints and the lack of tracks from any machinery are more than enough evidence to prove that this was definitely done by a Sasquatch.
Are there any footprints leading up to or going away from this site?
Actually, there are. I noticed a trail of them heading in from the south and out to the north. The outward ones lead up the hill there and over the ridge.
Well, what I'm trying to understand is why just the one tree? Why not 2 or 3 or a dozen?
Well, usually when it's only one tree like this, it's typically used as a signal or a signpost to mark a certain location.
The location of what?
It could be anything, from water to a cave to sleep in to a warning signal that humans are nearby.
I see. Professor, since you seem to have things well in hand here, would you mind if I do a little search of the surrounding area?
Well, no, but it's just a little odd that you, who outrank me, should have to ask permission from me to do anything.
Well, that may be true technically, but I'm kind of in your turf here, and you know a lot more about goings-on out here than I do. You see, there's a particular spot up here that got me curious a few weeks ago when we were doing another manhunt. And if a Bigfoot uses these pulled-up trees as signs for things, this tree just might be a signpost pointing to the answer to a little mystery we've had. Call it policeman's intuition, if you will.
A mystery, huh?
Yeah, it's something that's been on the conscience of this community for a long time.
Really? Well, don't let me stop you. Have at it, Captain. We'll be right here for a while.
Okay, I'll be back. Central, this is Lone Star. Come in. Central, this is Lone Star. Come in, please.
Central here. What's up, Lone Star?
Just wanted to let you know I'm going to be off circuit for a little while. Hold all communication to me until I give the all clear.
10-4. Any sign of the treasure yet?
No, not yet. We'll know more after I have a little talk with my friend here.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll be standing by for the all clear. Central out.
Lone Star out. Okay, I saw your signal. It's just me. You can come on out now.
Hello, my son. It's been a long time. It's good to see you again.
Hello, grandfather.